Neon buzz like a distant hum. Whiskey kiss the
I'll tell you what, Adam. We got a caper on our hands.
Oh?
Yeah.
A cigarette burned out.
It has been a weird week of trying to figure out the mysteries of what is going on with TurningPoint USA.
Oh.
Now, I've heard all kinds of theories about what this Erika Kirk broad is up to. But the truth is, I don't understand women at all, Adam.
That tracks.
Yeah. I mean, have you heard anything about what's going on with her at all?
No.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get filled in a little later, but my dude, my opinion on this whole thing radically shifted in the space of like 3 days, just because of a couple of things I saw Erika Kirk doing in the wake of the assassination of that flatfoot Charlie Kirk.
Well, what was your previous opinion?
My previous opinion was that she was a grieving widow and there was some weird stuff going on at Turning Point, but it would just looked weird because it was a tragedy, you know? But quite frankly, it was Erika Kirk herself who'd made me rethink the entire thing. Yeah. But
it's been a minute since you used AI for the opening song.
Well, you know why I'm doing it? Because of course I wanted to use the LA Noire soundtrack, but YouTube blocks those kinds of things.
Oh,
so I switched back to Suno, and now they're on V5, and it doesn't suck.
Did you look at the art generated for this song?
Of course I did, and I knew you'd notice that.
Did you edit it at all?
Nope, I didn't edit it. Should we show the people? Hang on, let me switch it over so they can see here.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. It's showing the wrong window. It's showing my personal calendar. Hang on, I'll fix this. Don't worry. We're professionals. Now everyone knows what I do. It's just terrible. There it is. Right up. Oh, my God. That's the wrong one, too. That's my notes. This is awful. Hang on.
Would you say we're professionals?
Yes, we're professionals. Okay, there it is. This is what Adam's referring to right here. You see it? Yeah, that's right. It just puts the other F word on the...
I just love that AI's figured out lettering now, but in the middle of this art, what do they call it? Film noir. There's a neon sign that just says fart.
I know.
Like right in the middle.
Sometimes it happens, my man. Sometimes it happens.
What a vibe.
Yeah. But, anyway, so I think we ought to get into it. There's a lot to cover. It was a crazy week for Clowntown.
Ugh. Erika Kirk, huh?
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound interesting. We're going to cover a lot more than that. Don't worry. Don't you worry. And I got one that I'm really, really hoping will blow your socks off.
You've been hyping me up.
I know. But Erika Kirk was the one that really surprised even me. Because I wanted to believe, man. I wanted to believe so bad that there was nothing fishy going on there. But there was. And now the PR is failing. And I even put a post about it in the Telegram. And maybe I'll read it as a little teaser here. Because it's one of those things where, like, when you start to see it, it starts to sound awfully familiar. I said the PR is failing with Turning Point right now because they're almost certainly using the same agencies that American Zionists use. These could have been offered to them pro bono or as a partnership in memory of. You do not go on Audacity horror show tours with a chip on your shoulder. You fall back, grieve, and wait it out. You handle this with grace, not fire. But the whole thing reeks of the same tactics, as if they rolled out a flowchart of how this was going to go and was just repurposed from October 7th. I'm telling you. The PR angle is the way to go. But
so they got the same playbook as what you're saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody, you know, the funky thing about all this silly stuff is that I'm really beginning to think that this is all just lazy, like, money stuff. Like, I really think that all of this is just about money. Which is weird for me because usually I'm like, oh, there's a Gnostic reason why they have to do that. There's a conspiracy. This time I think it's just lazy people who want money.
They're just benefiting off of a tragedy or a staged tragedy or...
Yes. I heard another podcaster describe it like this, that I finally heard someone say what I've been saying, but he said it with a little bit more pizzazz than I did. He said that the elites are afflicted with decadence just like we are.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? They're lazy, and it's becoming about stupid things like money. And speaking of money, I don't know if you've seen this guy back on the radar of late.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's
James,
the bearded, angry video game nerd.
It is Angry Video Game Nerd. Now, I have been assaulted because I'm subscribed to him out of pure millennial stubbornness. I found the guy when I was like, 13, 14?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching him ever since. Not like watching his show, but like keeping an eye on Mr. Angry Video Game Nerd himself for a very long time. Now, the reason I do that is because he made it, right? He was like a famous YouTuber. He was making money. Everybody was so happy, you know, when he had a family and, you know, he's moved beyond the Nintendo stuff. But this whole week, I have been assaulted by AVGN himself because everybody's hurting right now, man. Everybody's hurting.
Oh, boy.
It's the fucking nerd here, and I've been summoned by a corporate entity to present an award for the worst game of the year. Man, what year are we on at this point? 2025? That's a whole lot of numbers just to say this year sucked. Now, thankfully, I haven't played all of these games, but I guess somebody had to in order for them to get nominated, so that's a depressing thought. But hey, there must have been some good games that came out this year too. And you know the old saying, you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. Or, in this case, you just gotta fucking suffer. Anyway, the nominees for the worst game of the year are...
Should we guess?
Mind's Eye.
Oh.
Did you see Mind's Eye?
That was going to be my guess.
Oh, nice work.
That or Black Ops 7.
Do you think Black Ops 7 will be on here?
It ought to be.
I don't know anything about it except that nobody really, well, not nobody, but not that many people are into it. Put it that way.
Did you see the announcement about it?
No.
Activision came out and said they're not doing annual releases anymore because this one was such a failure. I think the numbers I saw was they basically made like 30% of what they expected.
What the hell is this?
How do you run Call of Duty into the ground? It's
laziness.
It's a money machine. You know what I mean? All these games should be making money. Are we like what's going on here? They're just not, though. I don't know.
Because the market's oversaturated.
It's true. Now, to get back to my main point here, when I say I was assaulted by Angry Video Game Nerd, I mean like the number of collaborations the poor boy has been doing, the number of hot sauces and hot sauce reviews and stuff that he's been doing. And he even did one where he read a novel about Simon's Quest. He sat in front of a camera for like 3 hours and read the entire thing.
Well, maybe his kids want to go to college.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can't blame the guy.
I'm not mad at him, but he's never, as far as I know, he's never done something for frickin' GameStop.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
I suppose it makes sense.
got to get that money somehow.
Speaking of YouTubers, there was another gang of YouTubers that was popping up in my feed this week, and you know who these guys are, of course.
Yep.
This is RedLetterMedia, and we love them, right? They're Milwaukee boys. What's not to love, right? Right.
Nothing. I mean, I love them.
They're great. They ran afoul this week, though. And it was kind of crazy because I just kept seeing them because everybody was mad at them for some reason. You want to see why?
Yeah.
Here's the clip. Now they've done these shows for years. You remember FU It's January?
Mm-hmm.
And they did several episodes about how theaters are failing, and they've been doing it since, like, I think freaking COVID days. They've been doing these.
Mm-hmm.
And they just did another one. Here's the clip that everyone was so upset about.
Now, let's take a look at all the upcoming sequels that are bound to pack in popcorn-munching weirdos so they could scroll on their phones while they sit in those ugly Tootsie Roll fatso seats.
What?
Okay.
That's what?
That's the clip.
That's what made people mad?
That's what made people mad. Can you guess why?
Fatso seats?
Nope. And it's fine. You don't have to guess why because you don't live on the internet. The right-wingers of the internet were jumping down RedLetterMedia's throat for this video because they said this.
In popcorn-munching weirdos so they could scroll on their phones while they sit in those ugly
Popcorn munching weirdos.
What?
This is what I'm talking about. If you spend all your time online and you're like a groiper or something, you might detect something here and have a problem with it, that they're somehow talking about black people, but they won't say black people. I'm not kidding. This is what people were autistically spurging about this week.
Weirdos.
They were mad that RedLetterMedia didn't say black people.
Yes.
That is insane.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I bet the subconscious element of it too is the big gold chain that Mike's wearing around his neck.
I suppose. But I don't think that's the implication. Milwaukee's full of drunk people.
Yeah, I mean,
and weirdos.
And like kind of like not like AVGN, but like RedLetterMedia has been like forcefully agnostic to any kind of intervention or corporate what do you call them, collabs or anything like that. Like they're entirely their own thing.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the problem with dealing with internet people, is it's never far enough, you know? Like you could be there and be like, yeah, don't go to the theaters. They're full of awful, loud, angry, pissed off people who want to fight about everything. And everyone would know that that's what going to a theater's like. But the alt-right people were like, he didn't say black people. RedLetterMedia cucked out.
yeah, because they've always been such a political show.
Yes, because RedLetterMedia needs to do racial comedy. Yes, according to people on the internet.
That's so dumb.
It's retarded, man. And here's a funny clip I found actually responding to it, because here's a cartoon someone made about it, which is, you know, just terrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know, Mike. The theater experience just isn't what it used to be. That's right, Jay. Blame corporate greed and all these weirdos. And then there's this scene. And this is the kind of crap that you run into making content on the internet, all right? Does RedLetterMedia need to go around saying that crap? Now look at this.
No.
Here's a response I found to it that made me laugh.
Okay, so this is about RedLetterMedia, right? This is about Half in the Bag. This is about Best of the Worst. And I guess they've always been cucked when it comes to race. And I'm really wondering what exactly you want from, like, Best of the Worst, you know? I think in between their movie reviews, I think Mike Stacklasa should look at the camera and talk about white genocide. I think Jay Bauman should start rolling off FBI crime statistics. And I think Rich Evans should talk about remigration. I think that would make the movie review show a lot better. That'd be a lot funnier. Are you fucking insane?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're insane. You're insane.
That's the thing is, like, this is exactly what the left did when it came to entertainment.
Yes.
Well, we want to see our politics reflected in our entertainment. And so that's why everything's been woke forever, is because that's what they wanted.
Right.
So the right should not do the same thing.
No.
Not everybody needs to be Nick Fuentes, for God's sake.
Right. Now, we've been called cucks before for not going far enough. A couple of times. And you know what? That's fine. And what I say to those people is, like, literally, Gypsy Crusader is two clicks away. You can go watch that shit if you'd like. But for Christ's sake, Red Letter Media has always been cucked when it comes to race. Get a life, man.
Yeah, I never once, like, interpreted what they were saying about theaters sucking having anything to do with race. To me, it was always just like, yeah, theaters are disgusting, and it's an experience that, let's just say, society at large is no longer fit for.
Yeah, and that's
because there's so many crazy people in every demographic that it's like, why would you want to just go and, like, pay $20 to spend just 3 hours in a room with a bunch of unpredictable weirdos?
Yeah, weirdos.
What was the last movie you saw in theaters? I think we talked about that before.
It was White Butt Statues movie, Matt Walsh.
Oh yeah, I can't believe you went to that.
It wasn't a bad experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, not like I can't believe you went and saw that. I'm just like, I can't believe you went to a movie theater that recently.
Oh yeah, no, and before that it was Knives Out.
Oh man,
not the new one.
No, that was like 2019.
Yeah. It was a long time since I've been to a theater. But this is the kind of autistic retardation that you get in these circles. But, you know, half the time it's people trolling, I suppose. But it just made me laugh because I'm like, oh, come on. Like, Red Letter Media has been a staple. They've been around forever. Cucked on race.
Amazing.
Yeah. But it's just, I had to bring that in because what they're responding to is, like, basically Netflix's representation came out once again and said, you're just not going to go to the theater anymore. There's just no reason to go to the theaters anymore. Everything's going to be streamed. And I think that's really freaking sad. It's kind of too bad we can't have these collective experiences anymore.
Well, I mean, they also have a lot of great points outside of that about why the theater system doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and he started doing, like, street photography. Apparently it's really popular on, like, TikTok and YouTube, where really good photographers go out and just ask random people who have a good vibe if they can take nice pictures of them. So he's been doing that, and one thing he noticed was basically, since COVID, like, everybody's just kind of, like, programmed to be antisocial. And maybe it's a subtle effect, but I 100% agree with it. Like, being around people has not been the same since then. And it's not been the same since all of the Black Lives Matter stuff. All of that craziness, suddenly everybody's scared of each other. It's almost bizarre, like, when you see people who aren't scared to talk to strangers.
It is. And I predict personally that there's going to be a backlash to that. At some point, it's going to be a little bit like the end of COVID when we just decided that was over. Everyone just went out. They're like, screw it, we're just going out. I think the same thing's going to happen when it comes to not saying these things and not going out. Like, we're just going to get tired of not being able to go to malls or theaters or anything like that. Maybe. I don't know. It feels like that could happen. I mean, that's how COVID ended, and that was years of some of that that was drum fire propaganda for years, and then everyone just decided it was over.
Well, I think the most tragic thing about it, and then we can move on, but is like things like theaters and malls. Like we got tired of them because we had cooler alternatives. Like you don't need to go to a mall. You got social media. You can just have that experience of like shopping around and seeing people on your phone while you're lying on your couch, just like you don't need to go to a theater. I think though, with like the rise of like AI and the internet just generally getting shittier, I think it's going to be sort of like an organic movement. Like everybody's going to be like, yes, we need real social experiences. Yes, we need to be bored.
Yes.
I hope
already
that's
happening.
the way it goes. But, you know, it's like what the tech corporations want is the opposite of that. They don't want you to go outside. They want you inside looking at your screen so you can make them money.
Well, they want Ready Player One. And that's just not how people work. People do get tired of things. I mean, are you kidding? Like, people got tired of porn. Right? They did. They got tired of it. There's not, like, do you remember when Rick Santorum came out years ago and was talking about banning porn, like around the time of the first Obama term? And he was laughed at in the streets. And now that doesn't sound so crazy, does it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
people get bored. It's like, God, please. I've had 10 vanilla milkshakes. I don't want any more vanilla milkshakes. And they're like, you're going to have another vanilla milkshake. Anything but vanilla. No more vanilla. Yeah, people get bored. That's why they turn over the rocks, as we've been talking about.
Well, I mean, a smaller microcosm is that is the Silence brand, when all those corporate Twitters like started becoming too relatable.
Yes.
And people started responding because they saw through it. It was like funny for a bit. And then they're like, oh, this is just, you know, companies looking for attention.
Yeah. And these things are fads, man. That's a word that doesn't get used enough, is fad. Chesterton wrote entire essays about fads, including this. Well, he didn't write an essay about AI-generated ads, but this is the McDonald's Christmas ad generated by AI.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's the most terrible time of the year.
What?
It's loud.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn that down for you.
All the shops turn to mayhem, even Santa knows space, and the tree redecorated your place. It's the most terrible time of the year. The roast turned to charcoal, and the cookies burn too. Freaking chaos, it feels like a zoo.
Good Lord.
It's the most terrible time of the year. So you
Oh my God.
What? What? Doesn't this make you want a Big Mac? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, if I could choke to death on the Big Mac, that'd be great.
Fisher, holy Christmas.
Sorry.
Did I just hear a heartbeat? What was that?
It's an audio rip from the game. What were you saying?
Oh, I don't remember. All I know is that, well, I did you read the response about this when people started complaining about the AI ad?
No.
Oh, they were like, yeah, we slaved away over this film. It took us 7 weeks of round the clock work, blah, blah, blah.
Really?
People ran it through an AI detector, and they wrote the response with AI.
Really?
Yeah, so Aaron, 7 weeks of slaving away. You know, filmmaking is really easy, but AI, if you can just generate it in a computer, it's even easier. It's amazing.
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
The lights and the cheer and hide out in McDonald's till January's here.
Yeah.
I could see generating parts of it, but like people sitting in a restaurant eating McDonald's, you don't have like a million of those like in your stock folder. McDonald's is a huge corporation. They have a media library. Are you kidding?
I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why they're trying to prove this concept, but I mean, seriously, it's not going to do the whole thing, and you need to get over that right away. Like, sorry, It just won't. And it will be detectable. I don't see a world where AI is going to be so good that people won't be able to tell.
Well,
At least for anything longer than, a 2-second clip.
I
And even
hope
if
so.
it is real, everybody's going to doubt it anyway. Oh, it's made by AI. Even if it isn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like they don't care. Ads aren't genuine anyway. It's a little information nugget to plant in your brain so that you think of the product more often. That's what it is. They don't care if you're mad about the artistry of their ad.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and I understand why we are, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to that ultimate question is like, is it cost effective? Why would we have an entire marketing department, going around shooting videos or whatever when we could just have a computer do it?
Well, maybe that's the other part of it is they're going to get people used to it. So, I mean, like we already turn off ads anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of the quality.
Exactly.
So, but they still have them. They still pay boku bucks to have ads on everything because apparently it's that effective.
Yes.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Absolutely.
Why are humans so stupid?
Listen.
That's the thing is like anytime there's an ad playing, I'm either skipping it, muting it, or not looking at it.
Here's the truth.
And yet it still gets in my brain, right?
Right. You're not stupid, you're busy. That's the issue. Humans aren't humans. People, generally speaking, aren't so stupid that they don't know they're looking at an ad. Unless you're a boomer, in which case you're just used to it. But all I'm saying is like I don't think people are as dumb. I mean, there are some really dumb people out there, don't get me wrong. But most people are just too busy to care about this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a McDonald's ad. What difference does it make? You're going to see it in passing while you're eating a burger at the sports bar. Like, what do they care? It's about...
I think... I mean, just like... I would want to take like a class on advertising just to see how deep it goes. Because it's not just about the ads, it's about an entire network of information, like different brands tied to each other, different backdoor deals to put logos in places or even use color palettes that make you think about a brand. I mean, it's literally permeates everything. Everything is an ad.
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, there was a book by George Orwell called All Art is Propaganda. It's a good book. Well, I mean, it's an essay in the book, but the book is named after the essay. All art is propaganda. What does this propagandize? I mean, like, the medium is the message, right? So what is AI-generated ads? What do AI-generated ads communicate to you about the utility of putting art into ads? That it's not necessary to accomplish what their spreadsheet said it needs to accomplish. Like,
well,
I know... Go ahead.
I know at some point I might have talked about it on the show, but the example I always think of, like when I think about how insidious advertising gets, was I listened to an episode, I can't remember what it was. It might have been Defunct Land, but how they marketed Finding Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about that?
No.
Whatever. I might have mentioned it on an earlier episode, but basically this woman that they were interviewing her job was to get kids across the world to think about fish. To basically prime their brains for Finding Nemo before the movie was even announced. So she had deals with like cereal brands and stuff to just start making stuff that was aquatic themed.
Interesting.
Basically to get kids interested in the ocean for the movie.
That checks out.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that was like 2000 or 1999 or whenever that movie came out. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, that's, that explains the pre-programming conspiracy theorists all about like Escape from New York having a destroyed World Trade Center on it. And Die Hard having the same thing on the cover. People are like, oh, they need us to get used to the idea of, a building being on fire and collapsing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds crazy until you've taken an advertising or marketing course or done some reading about how it was in the early days. There's so much you can extrapolate about modern advertising from just reading about the things people were thinking about when it started to become like an industry. I think that's why so many people find the show Mad Men so interesting.
Yeah, I'm having a big think.
Let's how about another one?
You think you could predict the future via ads?
What? Hang on. What?
Like if you distilled down the public conscience and what they're doing with advertisement with AI, you could probably predict the future to a certain extent. Like if the revelation of method back in the 80s was to show burning buildings so people would be ready for, the World Trade Center.
So what are they trying to tell us with this?
Well, that's the interesting thing about it. Is it like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Is it something that operates on the quantum level? Like, what is going on with this?
Well, now you're getting into questions of consciousness and awareness and all that stuff, and that is
it's really like we make the future by predicting it.
Dude, I know. It's too early in the show to get this deep on this. You're totally right, of course.
This is why AI gets me going, is because it's basically like it is a kaleidoscope of possibilities, and it's basically you can see into other dimensions constantly in any format. No, I'll stop though, because we probably have to look at some political shit or something.
Not yet. I mean, we have more AI stuff because it's just such an interesting topic to me and to you. I don't think it's that interesting to most people because the angle on it is just like it's a curiosity. But when you really start to examine the philosophical implications of having a literal dream machine that can pump ideas into the minds of the collective unconscious of the entire planet, and they're using it to advertise McDonald's, it's like you don't really understand the implications of that if you're just, if you're busy. You can't take the time to understand the implications of such a thing. It's like when you try to understand, I know this is like a total like schizo rant, I apologize, but if you try to think about a world before television, most people that just sounds like boring. Like we wouldn't have our interesting television shows and we wouldn't have our movie references and our humor. But it's like you try to think about a world before there was television or mass communication. Your brain at this point almost can't conceive of how different things would be.
Well, you think about what it would be to live back then. Your only windows to other places would be through your own eyeballs and your direct experience with a consistent reality.
Right.
Now it's like, I mean, people were freaking out like video games, like even in the 80s were like, oh my God, it's, people are going to lose track of what's real. It's like, you see this. And I mean, everybody is going to start thinking interdimensionally.
Wow. Okay.
I've had to use AI for the last couple weeks at work because we have to prove it out that it's useful, and it's not. I'll say that. But somebody was teaching me to use it. The program's called VizCom, and it's specifically for designers to save time rendering objects. Now it can do everything. Like I took a picture of a sketchbook page where I had drawn a bunch of elephant, what the heck's it called? Elephant shrews. And just for fun. And I was like, animate this, make the elephant shrews get off the page and hop off the screen. And in less than a minute, it had an animation for it where the little shrews, like they smile and then they pop out of the page and they scamper away, which was, it's fun or whatever. It's creepy as all hell. But we were like trying to use it for practical work. And they were like, well, that's the thing is if you have to use it a lot so it can learn from you.
Yikes.
I'm like, so I actively have to work with this thing and watch it and help it steal my soul.
Yes.
It literally learns your drawing style and copies it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, anyway.
It's a mind without a body, but it's not really a mind. I don't know.
No, that's what it feels like, though. It's like if you want it to solve a problem, you have to hit like generate version like 50 times, and you might get one useful outcome because it doesn't know what it's doing at all. So it's like I've described it as like having a really bad intern, except there's no reward of helping them like learn or somebody saying thank you. It's just like, nope, it's just stealing your knowledge.
Yes.
And it doesn't really know what it's doing. Anyway, we should
let's do another one. This is the future of this is Halftime dynamically weaves AI generated ads into scenes you're watching.
Oh,
so
God.
like you're watching TV, and so instead of like a commercial break, it's just in the show.
Regreso el sándwich más importante del mundo.
Harvard Trivia, the lightning round. Go. Pulitzer Prizes. 46. Nobel Peace Prizes.
Jessica, what are you doing here? Eating. I was just...
Yeah, it just holds up a guy. It just holds up a Coke in the middle of the scene.
Oh, man.
It's coming, bro. It's coming.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I think it was about Stargate. I remember hearing years ago that was like, it was very suspicious that a military base had only Pepsi cups or something. It was some show. I don't know if it was Stargate, but it was some show where they were like, every scene has a Pepsi cup in it. And it's like, well, what if that contract runs out and you can replace those Pepsi cups with a Coca-Cola cup and retroactively edit a famous TV show that's getting more views than anything new on Netflix? And now it's a Coke ad, or even better, you can localize it to whatever country the person's viewing it in. So, if you can't get, a certain product in your country, they'll replace it with something else. I mean, this is Friends with wireless headphones right here. Yeah.
Jeez.
It can happen. We're getting there. We are.
One thing I'm shocked at with this so far is that corporations like lack of respect for their own brand. I mean, that, but also like the brand art, like on the Coke can, the logo's wrong. I've been to conferences multiple times where I've listened to the like BrandWorks people from Coca-Cola talk about how freaking important that logo is and how it has to be exactly right. They have all the proportions down to an exact science. It has to be that way. And in this ad here, it's like it can't do the Coca-Cola logo. It's just like a scribble.
Yeah,
you can still tell that it's Coca-Cola.
Right.
But I don't understand that, like, why a brand team would be okay with that.
This is a proof of concept. They'll get that down. They'll be able to train the AI to reproduce that logo exactly, and only that logo. And then Coca-Cola will have its own little robot that can do that anywhere without fail. This is a proof of concept for something that is, if it's not already here, it's very much on the way. Like you say, yeah, corporations, it's not so much that they're not interested in protecting that brand. They're more interested, now that that's established, in finding ways to expand their reach. And this is a great way to do it.
Well,
So
I think too, with the disillusion of the minds of the people, they're not going to have things like exact sciences for their brands, in a sense. I guess maybe that's the dream of like global domination of your brand, is that, and that's another thing like the Coca-Cola team, they talked about, was like the coloration, the proportions, everything has to be a certain way. So even at a passing glance, everybody knows it's a Coke product. But now it's like, the logo doesn't need to be right. It's already written in, every language you can possibly imagine. So how much does that really matter? It might have mattered like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but now it's like it's a red can with a white logo. It's a Coke.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is, listen, man, maybe this outs me as some kind of a normie, but when he held that up, I didn't see that it was jacked up when he moved it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw Coca-Cola. I wasn't looking that closely. I mean, maybe now I will be, but in the first one, I was just like, wow, look, a Coke.
Yeah, and it's the proportions are wrong. It's like 10% too big. Anyway.
Yeah.
God, right. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. But you know, everybody's got to work for Big Corpo now, because, like I said, everybody's hungry, including our dear angry video game nerd and RedLetterMedia. That's a joke. I love RedLetterMedia. There's a way to get in though, and it's LinkedIn, of course.
If you ever step on a landmine, most people panic and try to run. But here's the thing. Landmines are built to explode the moment your weight comes off. So instead of moving suddenly, stay calm and explain to your followers on LinkedIn what this experience taught you about B2B sales. If something is going to blow up, it may as well be the number of connections you have, as it could lead to future career opportunities.
Now, it's a joke. Yes, it's a joke. But this is a ghost ship, man. Corporations are hollowing themselves out and replacing as much as they can with people who don't know anything but except the corporation, and robots that can't know anything except the corporation. So for years, millennials have been told, you know, in order to get a job, in order to, you know, get that interview, you have to keep your LinkedIn updated. And it felt like nobody was watching, and some people gamed it. And for years, Gen Z has just been aware that you have to game these things to get anything you want out of it. And even if you do, there's a good chance that when you go to that interview, you're walking into a fake company, which happened to me, of course, hilariously. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scam. It's all a scam. I walked into a building in Chicago right next to the Chicago Tribune building, and it looked like a real business until I walked into the interview room and I noticed that everything was basically on wheels. It looked like everything from the chairs to the desks could be rolled out the door. And that was a real reality check for me, which I just got scammed. This isn't a real job. But that's going to be the way it is with all these things as long as corporations continue to do this. This is the end result of the precept of always be growing, like unlimited growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. Like these kinds of precepts are the things that create an entire society that's basically a pyramid scheme where nothing is real. So, you know, AI is kind of like a little bit like the wet dream of corpos who just want to watch big green line go up. Obviously.
Literally a cancer.
It is literally cancer. It's literally cancer. It's a disease. It's a societal affliction. It is a disease. It doesn't have to be this way either. And that's kind of the interesting part, is that as people begin to see that nothing is really making sense anymore, the government's not working on your behalf. We've known that for a long time, but it's becoming like really brazen now. And corporations will just shuffle you out the door even if you've been there for 30 years, and just replace you with another person, and they'll hardly even give you, you know, a pack of Starburst to thank you. Like these kinds of things, these things matter to people. They don't matter to robots, and they don't matter to a slave class that's being imported. This is the logical outcome of these things, unfortunately. How about a funny one?
Please.
Okay, this is what it's like to be a defense attorney in the 1700s.
I wish I was a defense attorney in the 1700s, because no one had invented evidence yet. So your job is just gaslighting the jury. Just looking at them and being like, he says he did not do it. Are we to call this man a liar? And then the prosecution would be like, we have a witness. This lady saw him do it. And then you'd be like, well, she is a woman. She can neither vote nor read, yet we believe she could see crime. I think not.
Things were a little bit simpler, I guess. All right, let's get into a serious topic here.
Thanks for the 30 seconds of levity.
You're welcome.
As if we haven't been on a serious topic.
Well, the uniting element of all of this discussion, and we've been working on these stories for as long as the show's been alive, is the world is changing faster than anybody's ready for. And this here is a clip about boomers versus millennials, right? This is something that we've talked about extensively on this show. Why is there such a difference between boomers and the young generation? And we're going to get there, but first, we're going to have a couple of laughs, okay? I know it's a serious topic, but we should be able to enjoy ourselves. But first, here's a little introduction, something that I found interesting.
I have never seen the war that I am seeing between the boomer generation and the millennial generation. Never before seen this. It is unbelievable.
Really?
The amount of hatred between these two generations is unbelievable. It's really bad.
So what's the core thing they're fighting about?
Betrayal. The boomer generation really is a generation that believed that the template for success was a very specific thing. They themselves made all kinds of decisions that changed the entire framework and the landscape of this world and the society in a way that would not work anymore for what they did essentially when they were 20. So they sold an idea to the millennials. The millennials followed that ideal. Because of doing so, they fell off a cliff, basically, bounced themselves straight towards two huge recessions. It didn't work in relationships. So all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I trusted you and you misled me. And now I can never get what you got. There's no hope for the future. And now you won't step out of the position that you're in, where I'm convinced you're making decisions that harmed me.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Yep. So it's betrayal, I guess. It's more like, I think the thing that frustrates me most about boomers nowadays is it's too late to, well, it's just too late, but you can't make them understand that things are different. You just can't. You can't make them understand that the world is different, that there is that, and this is probably more real for Gen Z, because millennials still had a little bit of like, I guess I'll get into college debt. I guess I'll go get that degree, and then I guess I'll get a corporate job because that's what you're supposed to do, and then that'll pay out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work.
Yeah, I think what we're at a deficit in is trust. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but everybody in the world has been screwed over so many times in so many different ways. Yeah, we don't trust anybody anymore. It's like my friend photographing people in the city, and most of the time people ignore him or they run away because nobody trusts him, because they're like, what's the catch? What's the scam? And he's like, I just want to take your picture. And people literally can't believe it.
Right.
So I think, yeah, I mean, millennials especially, we had a lot of trust in our elders and in our society that has been broken so many times over that, you know, millennials are just like really confused. Whereas Gen Z, they started off in a world that was a big joke.
Mm-hmm.
And they've developed wisdom and scrappiness, as you would call it, to deal with it.
Yes.
Whereas
yes.
we millennials just kind of feel like, well, maybe someday if I keep following the rules, keep putting on the clown makeup, it'll all work out.
Right. Millennials are hapless. And I say that as a millennial. We don't know what happened exactly. We just know that somewhere along the line we got screwed bad. Gen Z knew that was coming because they saw it happen to us. They grew up in a much more cynical world. They had access. They knew how to dig for things on the internet. And I'm not saying like millennials couldn't do that. I know I did that. But Gen Z just grew up knowing that the world was a cynical, dark, nasty place. Millennials still believed in friggin' Harry Potter. But not to worry, Adam. Not to worry. We have a solution. You know how to bridge the millennial boomer divide? You know what the secret sauce is for bridging the millennial boomer divide and getting us back to what makes sense?
I have no idea.
It's technology, man. It's technology. So here's Glenn Beck. This happened this week. You're not going to believe this.
All right.
You remember Glenn Beck, of course.
Well, yeah.
Yep. This is real. I'm serious. I wish I was making this up. But I double checked. I went onto the Blaze website to just see if I was being screwed with. And unless there's a vast hoax, this is real.
George, we have programmed a lot of information and given you a lot of information on what's going on in today's America. Based on your writings and the writings of the rest of the founders, what is it that you feel is the biggest problem or where we should start to fix things?
If I may speak plainly, my countrymen, the greatest danger to our republic lies not in foreign arms or political faction, but in the decay...
May I just interrupt you for a second? Could you just dumb it down just a little bit?
Okay. I do have 29 points, and they're all referenced to exactly what we said in the past.
For this, just speak in today's language.
Okay. I get it. Let me speak to Americans. If I'm honest, America's biggest problem isn't political or economic. It's all moral. You've drifted from the virtues that make liberty possible in the first place.
For those of you just listening, Glenn Beck is talking to an AI George Washington.
I like how when they make him use modern language, they immediately start playing like hip hop beats. Or like whatever that weird rattling sound is.
Oh my gosh, they cut right. This is, and here's okay, let's just break this down just a touch. It's like, America.
George Washington was a gangster.
Yeah, here's George Washington in a black t-shirt. Yeah. So they immediately cut to World War II, the boomer founding myth, right? And then they cut to what? What is this? What's next? Oh, Selma, civil rights, the other boomer founding myth. When Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech and made all Americans equal forever.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
What do they show next? What do they show next?
Let's see what's
Freedom.
next.
To be free, you have to have discipline. You have to have faith. You have to have character. And if you don't have any of those things, laws.
They cut to leftists and the border.
Okay.
All right. Which is scary, because commies are scary and immigrants are scary, which, whatever. But you know what I'm saying. Let's see a little more here.
Can't stop anything. They mean little. Government turns either weak or oppressive. You have grown skeptical of truth. You're reckless with debt. You're comfortable blaming instead of building anything. And in my time, we understood that self-governance begins with self-control. Do you even recognize what self-control is?
He lost a finger. Did you notice this? They can't even get an AI that does the right number of fingers.
Those arms are all wrong.
Oh,
public virtue matters more than public opinion. You keep electing these people, expecting things to change, but you haven't changed. The fix is not going to be found in Washington, D.C. It's going to be found in every home, every school, every heart. Where are the citizens who value duty over comfort, principle over popularity? America was built to be a moral and self-governing nation.
I like how they have the sound of a film camera showing George Washington at some battle. As if it was
because they had the old style film cameras back then, Aaron.
Right.
Was built to be a moral and
It's so bad, man. It's
talking about morals, and there's like two soldiers behind him smoking.
You remember when the world was in black and white? George Washington AI remembers. Listen to the robot. The robot knows. Ask ChatGPT how to fix the country. It's definitely not going to lie to you. It's definitely not going to change its face between shots completely.
Oh, this is so bad.
Oh, dude, I know. But I wonder how many people actually watch this. And I'm sure Glenn Beck, he's not he's not a stupid person. He knew this would get clicks. But I wonder, at some level, how many people watch this and were like, wow, this is the collected writings of George Washington amalgamated into a George Washington McDouble.
Yeah, and he's here to deliver the most generic evangelical message we've all heard a billion times.
Don't even get me started.
It starts in the home with education and morals and blah, blah, blah. It's like, ugh.
I know, dude. But this is the divide. Is like they're the boomers in this, and I'm not saying like they're entirely to blame for this, because a lot of boomers grew up in the world where television just couldn't lie. I mean, television and film, when it first came out, would have been seen as like the ultimate truth-telling mechanism. Think about that.
Well, I mean, you think about back to those times too. It was like, where did you get your information? Well, there was a controlled system of the information that would be given to people. Otherwise, you'd be talking to people on the phone or asking your friends at the bar.
Right.
Well, what do you think of this? Now it's like I can go on my phone. I can get countless podcasts, YouTube channels. I can ask the AI to use any voice that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, his eyes are in the wrong place. Anyway, but yeah, back then it was like you didn't really have too much of a choice whether or not to trust the media.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you'd end up, with a yarn board in your basement and everybody thinking you're nuts. Because to find the truth back then was a lot harder, but it was harder in the way that it was a needle in the haystack versus now, where it's like you're looking for, I mean, you can AI render a haystack made of needles. Like,
right.
It's overwhelm of information and disinformation. Oh my God, I'm using the word.
This is the difference between intelligence and wisdom, right? So back in the day, you couldn't verify what other people had said. This is why, English law became what it was, with a jury and witnesses and evidence and all that stuff, is because it used to be he said, she said. And then there was like one Chinese fable, I think, about using forensics to determine which person's sickle had been used to murder a fellow peasant. Like, this is how it was. You could trust a person's word based on their reputation, and that was about it. And it's no different than today, right? Except that wisdom is all the more useful now, because what is wisdom? Wisdom is basically bringing what most people take as a gut feeling or instinct about what's trustworthy and what's real, and bringing it into the conscious mind. That's what it is. Knowledge and information is just competing narratives, interests, and flashy images, and that's what television is. And one of the best things that I like, what was the line from that dude, that NASA guy? He was like, it might have been Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin or one of those astronauts who was like, yeah, we had less technology in our giant spaceship than is in your mobile phone, and it sounds unbelievable, but it got us there. And this is what's crazy to me, is that you can identify a pretty good lie most of the time when somebody says it sounds unbelievable, but it happened, and you're like, wow, how unusual. But if you're a wise person with good instincts about these things, you know that you're being fooled. I know I'm being very vague. This is something that I need to develop a little bit more.
That's okay. You're cooking.
You see what I mean? Like, if we had an ounce of wisdom, this would be utterly unacceptable. To us, it's just funny, right? Because we're watching boomers like disintegrate into a schizophrenic mess because the television might be lying, and they're like, oh God, we must return to basic principles. George Washington was the guy. We'll put him in the computer. It just reminds me of The Machine Stops.
Honestly, how is this different? If this wasn't AI slop, if this was a guy in a costume wearing a George Washington wig,
yeah,
is that really that much different?
Right. What I'm getting at is that a lot has been going on this week, and I actually put out a post which I pinned to my Twitter. It just says, "We're not living in that world anymore, bud," with a big goofy dog. Because something happened this week. The Boomer Foundation of Truth and Narrative shook really hard. And it was a confluence of things. But we're not living in that world anymore, bud. AI George Washington is not going to cut it. And it's not the only one that's under attack. And this is how I see these things, right? So a lot of people, when they want to talk about foundational narratives and foundational myths, the one that they always go after is World War II. And that's totally fair because it is the big daddy. It is the big one, the one that defined 2 generations, if not 3. It defined the entire West once it was over. Like, you look at the world before World War I, and you look at the world after World War II, it is a completely different place. People are completely different. They think completely differently. The biggest influence was the actual conflict and the suffering that it caused, and the second biggest influence was mass communications in the form of radio and television. It changed how people consume information. It changed how they think about information, and it made wisdom look dull and boring and for crusty old people. And that's kind of where we're at.
Well, a couple of things there. It seems to me, and it's kind of like what I was saying about, like, people might actively start seeking out human experiences more because of the internet just being so absurd and just an endless slot machine.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, how do we combat this? And I think old time wisdom is definitely one way. And I think the other is understanding your own psychology, because the algorithms are appealing to your confirmation bias because they know you're a stupid monkey. And you will select the news that you want to see, and you'll filter out the rest of it.
Right.
And not only now are you going to be able to filter it out, but it's going to be able to create the reality that you want to see. And it's going to do that for you because it's going to keep you clicking.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, I love YouTube, but I've been deleting the app every day because I find myself going there because it's going to show me all the stuff I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Because it knows me better than I know myself. So I think one thing that we have to be aware of is confirmation bias.
Right.
And all of our weaknesses as human creatures. Because, the devil is the most beautiful angel, right? And that's exactly what is in your phone.
Why do you think all the intelligence agencies after World War II got super involved in hallucinogens and black magic?
It's basically like proto-AI in a sense, where it generates thousands of different options and outcomes and neural passages in your brain that opens you up to different perspectives, as they say. And no, it's not like in the woo-woo sense. It's just when you see the layers of reality kind of split apart, it changes how you look at the world. And that's what I think a lot of this AI stuff is like. Is it's like you're just giving everybody LSD. It's really not that different.
Yeah. It's very true. It's very true. It's sober LSD is what it is. But
you notice even me messing with Viscom these last couple of weeks, it's like very, very quickly the thrill goes away. Like it was really funny, like when people started putting out, stupid AI videos of like dogs like shooting bazookas and stuff or whatever. But now it's just AI slap. People are already bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's probably one of the most amazing pieces of technology developed ever. And we're just like, eh.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody about this, and I told them to watch the whenever I got scared of AI, I just go watch the end of The World's End, the movie with Simon Pegg.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've played that on the show, but it always makes me feel better because it's like, no matter how intelligent the AI gets, we're always going to be insurmountably stupid. And that's our superpower.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So my point with why the CIA and all these intelligence agencies got involved in hallucinogens and black magic is because they wanted to take this a little deeper. Just like nuclear weapons and the machine gun and mustard gas and all of that stuff, all these weapons technologies that were developed during the war, the weapons that survived into peacetime were mass comms, right? They wanted to take it a little deeper. They had learned that public manipulation was a thing that you could do to change the outcome of the war. But they wanted to know what public manipulation was. What were we jacking into by putting the same images in front of everybody's face all the time? And that's kind of where it got to, was what is that? What are we jacking into? And it comes to a question of consciousness, awareness, and the two little windows through which you see the entire world. And that goes to the concept of the mind precedes all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people talk about CERN opening portals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at this image of Glenn Beck looking at a reincarnation or facsimile of George Washington, you think about, this was the dream of every alchemist, sorcerer, black magic, whatever, forever. Right here on the screen, and we're playing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny. It's like, no, this is necromancy. It's I mean, it's like borderline necromancy, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is every sin that we've been warned against in one place.
I know. But here's the thing, Adam. Glenn Beck is a Mormon. His entire religion was founded by a guy who looked into a hat with a little rock in it and saw visions. This is nothing new.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mormonism is the only true religion.
All right, we've been going and going and going here. We really have been, but I think it's time to take a tiny little break and say thank you to our donors.
Always remember to stack that bread, neighbor.
All right, Adam. I had a thought this week.
Another one?
Yeah, I know. It's horrible. There's all these thoughts all the time. I had a thought this week. We haven't heard from our boy in Tasmania in a really long time. And I was just hoping and praying that he's all right and things are good. That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to manifest a donation from him, but that makes me worried.
No. I literally had the thought this week. I'm like, man, it's been a while since I hit that Tasmanian devil button. So if you're out there, Mr. Tasmanian devil person, man, if you're out there, Scott, we miss you, buddy. Anyway, so we're going to have to start with Tom. Of course, he sends 777, which, those are lucky numbers, buddy. A row of serial killer sevens for you guys. Fuck Lithuania. I am here to watch Roger. What?
Oh, boy.
Serial killer sevens?
I don't know what's going on in Lithuania, but I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point.
You know what that means? You remember how when we talk about dead people, we just had a grudge against Tasmania?
Yeah.
For no reason. We just decided
it was New Zealand.
I'm sorry, it's New Zealand. We just decided we had a problem with New Zealand. New Zealand, I know. But New Zealand, we would call it, for no reason. It was never explained. It was just canonical. Are we now going to do this to Lithuania?
I don't know.
I guess so. I don't know. And next up, we have Bros with 333. He says, can we get an infusion of Christmas cheer and merriment by hearing Black Pill Alex Jones saying we're Let's see. We're all dead now, you dumb son of a bitch. Where is that button? Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I have a lot of Alex Jones, okay? I got it.
You're all dead, you dumb son of a bitch! What the fuck?
And this is for the rest of you.
I see you brought your own cuck chair.
All right, guys. That's it. That's our donations for the week. Adam, shall we proceed?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to get into next. Is it, what's her face that...
We will. This is going to be part of a broader conversation about what the hell is going on with Christianity.
Oh, good.
I knew you were going to like this. Because again, it's a generational thing. And I know you see that name right there. I know you see it.
Is that AI generated?
No, it's probably. I don't know. The foundational myth of the American conservative Zionist boomer is Israel, and they don't know a lick of history about it. They just know that they heard a sermon one day, and they just remember internalizing it, and that's it. And since then, that's the head honcho of the narratives. We fought World War II so we could establish the state of Israel. I mean, they don't know why. They just know that we did. And that attacking that must make you some kind of a Hitler. That's about it. So, because boomers won't pass the torch, we're still being cursed by their luxury beliefs. This is what that looks like. This is Mike Huckabee.
But I say to you that those who are saying things that...
That is not me. That's just their audio engineer not doing very well at his job.
are negative about
Definitely a
Israel are not
robot.
true. They have the free speech right to say them, but you have the free speech responsibility to push back, stand up, speak up, and say, not in this country. America will not stand silent.
You know who he's talking about?
No.
Nick Fuentes. Oh, yeah. Nick Fuentes was the big to-do this week and last week. Ever since the whole Tucker Carlson interview he did, Nick Fuentes has been the big target. Just crazy because he's just some kid from Chicago. Unbelievable. He has driven these people insane. And the final straw was the interview he did with Piers Morgan, which I listened to twice. Not because I was sitting there going, yeah, he's right, but because I was trying to analyze what was actually happening in that interview. What was happening, broadly speaking, was that Gen Z was trying to kill the boomers. Just kill them. Get rid of them. Yeah. And to me, the reason we can't progress and the reason we can't get anywhere is because we are still holding on to a worldview that was trained to our elders by a television and by their pastors. That's it. That's the reason we can't put things behind us. That's the reason that Glenn Beck has to put Iwo Jima, the flag raising in Iwo Jima, and Selma in a little thing, his little George Washington thing. That's the reason he has to use digital necromancy to talk to George Washington, because the past isn't dying, and it's getting really not good. It's over, man. That world is over. We have to move past it. It's not even in American culture to hold on to the past like this. Do you know how quickly America got over the Civil War, broadly speaking?
I don't know.
Our own Civil War. It was like 10 years, maybe. I mean, there's still some very angry people hanging that rebel flag in their window. I see them around here, even up here in Wisconsin. I get it. But the country moved on because we had things to do. You know what I'm saying?
We had a direction, really, or at least enough faith in a direction. But yeah, now it just seems like culture at large, and it's this decadent culture is happy to stay in its own goon chamber until the end of time, rehashing and reliving the glory days.
No kidding. I keep thinking of this scene from Napoleon Dynamite. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember this guy? He's so obsessed with the friggin' football. What does he do? He's constantly filming himself throwing a football past a camera. Why? Because he can't let high school go. The man is approaching his 50s. But he can't let it go that he made one bad pass. He could have had that game and they would have won state. That's what the boomers are doing. It's like, yo, you didn't win the game. The country's falling apart. We don't have time to film your football show reel. We don't have time to do this over and over and over again. That's what's happening.
Well, I would argue, too, that it's not just the boomers. They want everybody like that. They want them to psychologically be in a state of, or what do they call it? A suspended state.
Suspended basically, animation? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Spiritual cryostasis.
Yeah.
They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to think or even have the thought that things could change.
Yeah.
And if you want to get better, you got to pay for it.
Well,
but I mean, I don't know, like going back to like not letting things go. I mean, shit, we've been just doing the same rehash of all the brands that were invented in the 80s and 70s.
Yeah,
we just can't let things go because, it was so good. It was so good. We'll do it better this time. Gritty reboot. We'll reboot it again. Reboot. And, I just... Yeah. I mean, that's where they want us. They don't want us to be doing what we are meant to do, which is to be little creators working within the rules of the creation.
We're supposed to do things, man. It's what Matt McKinley calls stalled century, right?
Yeah.
Always going back to that. And it's becoming very clear that there are perpetrators of stalled century. And it's just old people, man. Again, I'm not trying to be mean about this, but it is just old people who years ago when we were all living in villages and we had to keep the fire alive and all that stuff, they would pass down their wisdom and accept that they were no longer young, accept that it was over, accept that the young people might have some ideas that might be good, that perhaps they were supposed to be replaced by other grown-ups who were still young and could think and could move and could fight. That's what they were supposed to do. But instead, we have a giant daycare system in the United States. That's what we have. And all it's doing is it's playing replays of all the boomers' greatest hits. We took Iwo Jima and raised a flag. Man, that Selma March really counted for something. Great, man. That was half a century ago. In the case of World War II, that was almost a century ago. What have we done since then except watch everything rot? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
and
but
what's that?
The other side of that is that we're going to forget how to create, and AI is going to be the main reason for that. And that's really sick to me. Because I think that's like our primary gift is creation. We can't create anything wholly original, but we could at least spin it a different way. And AI's taken that away from people.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, well, then what's the meaning of being here?
Right. We've listen. Our mom once said something very wise about feminism, and I'll never forget it because she explained it instantly. She said, feminism made us obsolete. It made women obsolete.
That's a heck of a statement.
It's kind of true in a way, if you think about it. Where it's like, yes, liberating everyone from everything all the time. No gender roles. And broadly speaking, all revolutionary thought like this makes natural things obsolete. It does. That's the idea in a lot of ways. But what I'm trying to get at with this Huckabee thing is that this is an old world that's just refusing to die. Refusing. It's like, just let it go, man.
We need the pulpits of America to be on fire with truth, not propaganda. Nobody is asking you to go back to America and tell some story made up about Israel. Nobody's asking you to go and present some version of history that doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
Simply being...
Just monumentally stupid.
Well, hang on. Let's pull it back real quick.
There's so many reasons.
Just hang on.
Story made up about Israel to be on fire.
Hang on.
We need the pulpits of...
Hang on, man, real quick.
His voice cracked.
I know.
Pulpits of America to be on fire with truth. We need the pulpits of America to be on fire with truth. We need the pulpits of America to be on fire with truth.
Got it?
Okay.
They're tying this in. This is nothing new, not to you, not to me. They're tying this into religion because it's a foundational myth. That's what it is. Sorry, what were you going to say?
A lot of things, but the use of the word pulpit. Jeez. Man, I don't even know where to start with this. That's an old-timey word.
Yes. Yes.
We need the pulpits to be on fire. So you have an old-timey word for podium or whatever that sounds stupid and cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Then you follow it up with some early 2000s EV-free bullshit. It needs to be on fire with truth.
Yes.
Like, what are you saying? You're just signaling. That's all you're doing.
Yes, but that's what I'm trying to get at here is this is obviously it's just a speech, of course, but this is religious. This is who you are. The truth is Israel. Israel is the truth. You know, it's like, you remember as far back as we were going to church, they were trying to do youth outreach, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out why all the kids always thought it was cringe. Right? They brought in the electric guitars, they brought in the drums, they brought in the guy who was 35, just, to be the youth pastor. They had movie nights, they had lock-ins and all this. We can't figure out why the kids aren't interested. And it's because it doesn't offer anything. We've said it before. People can go to better concerts. They can get better self-help talks from TED Talks. Right? They can get better donuts down the street. Your free coffee is trash. Why would I spend my Sunday morning listening to this? Youth outreach.
It's a big guilt trip. And it's not gonna last much longer, I don't think.
No.
It's been a long time since I've been to a church of any kind. But all I know is that by and large, they're all dying.
Yes.
Because of this.
Yes.
Because they're filled with used car salesmen.
Yes.
Who are banking on people to show up because that's just what they do. I'm sorry. Black Ops 7 has proved to us that this only works for so long.
I know.
And I'm not trying to make a joke by bringing that up, but like, that's the thing. These people don't think in terms of cycles. They don't think in terms of time. It'll just work the same way it always did. It's like, nope, it won't. Nothing does.
No. And this is the kind of things that they play in your local church.
I'm here to be part of the Ambassador Summit taking place this week.
1,000 pastors cross the sea to stand with Israel faithfully.
We're here for 7 days to support Israel.
It's imperative that we educate the younger generation on what it means to stand for Israel.
To have a chance to come here and be a part of being a voice for Israel and the nations is really an honor, and I count it as such.
I wonder why kids aren't going to church anymore. Huh. It's weird. We better fix that. Here's something that was brought to my attention. This is CrossCon.
One thing that's funny about it is they just don't know what they're up against.
No,
like
they don't.
As far as like what getting attention, it's like you have every corporation on the planet fighting for every second of everybody's time so they can show you Coke ads and shit.
Yeah, don't worry. They got it covered. This is CrossCon 26.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No.
Perhaps you've heard of the Passion Conference?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
The CrossCon. It's like Comic-Con but for Jesus.
Yeah, I've never been to anything like that before.
You want to watch some promotional stuff? But first.
Oh yeah. I want to see how it's exactly the same as it was in 2008.
I know. I knew you were going to love this. Our theme.
You're going to hear a side of me.
Listen, Adam. I have to get through this.
Okay.
Our theme, like no other. Behold the triune God, the Father who chose us in love, the Son who took on flesh to redeem us, and the Spirit who breathes resurrection life. What? Hang on. What is resurrection life? I haven't heard of this kind of life. It must be new.
It's like Second Life, except it's a reboot.
They're gonna do a Second Life that just takes place in a giant megachurch. The Spirit who breathes resurrection life. He alone is holy, worthy beyond compare, able to satisfy our deepest longings, and he has chosen to make his name known throughout the world through people like you and me. So let's make our lives count, because otherwise they don't, playing our role in seeing his greatness spread to the ends of the earth, for truly our God is like no other. Let's watch the video. Here we go.
Behold, the triune God, the Father, who chose us in love, the Son who took on flesh.
Do you see what's going on here already?
I've never heard the word triune.
Listen. Just listen to it, Adam. Just listen.
Father, who chose us in love, the Son.
You hear it? They're doing the trailer thing.
Oh,
They're doing the blah.
All right.
Alone is holy, worthy, and beyond compare, able to satisfy our deepest longings, and he has chosen to make his name known throughout the world.
All right.
Just let it go.
No, we're good. We're good. I don't need to say anymore. They're trying to do youth outreach. Now, after doing a little bit of investigation on CrossCon 26, I discovered that it's a missions program. So this is supposed to be like a giant concert get-together for Christians in America. It's a secret recruiting program. Like, maybe not secret, but it's not explicitly for missions, but it's all in the subtext. Every single one of their guys is there to get you to go on a missions trip, but also to buy a ticket, get a hotel and a meal plan, and come have an experience. This is last year's recap.
What the world thinks is worthy of your focus isn't. I'm going to rivet my life's attention and focus on something infinitely valuable and go for it with all my might.
I mean, listen, the production value is quite good. But what is this? What is this?
Here, let's break it down. Let me see the sanctuary or whatever they're calling it.
This right here?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, now just hit play. I gotta hear it.
Put away your sins.
Jesus' gospel promises that if you trust him, he will give you a new heart. He will transform your passions, and he will make you like himself. He'll give you strength to resist whatever pleasure seems good that is actually poison.
Those of us who put our faith in Jesus have laid our lives down to follow him. We have confessed that he is the rightful Lord of our lives.
I mean,
Man.
What are your thoughts?
My brain's going a lot of different directions. It's so interesting that they're targeting what I was just talking about, where it's like you have the old Mike Huckabee, where he's waxing on about the same crap we've been hearing forever, whereas in this conference they're saying stuff like, we're in a world of infinite temptations and your attention needs to go to one place, and that is God. Let's just take a step back, though, I guess, from a brand standpoint. They keep showing a lot of black people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The graphic design on the page is obviously meant to resemble in some way graffiti. So it's got like that urban look to it because it's got to be cool.
Right.
I can't speak to the typeface choice on the logo. Like, that's just, I don't know.
It's got crosses in it. You see crosses?
It's been so long since I've like physically seen something like this. It's just interesting how in some ways it hasn't evolved at all, and then other ways it has.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's a secret recruiting program.
Right. Okay. Let's zoom in just a little bit on this. This is nothing new. We've had these kinds of things, like I said, since Passion Conference became a thing. I'm pretty sure Passion is pretty old. But here's the situation. So there's an age requirement on this. Let me see if I can find this. They only want you to come if you're young, which is
18
fine.
to 25.
Where was that? Where was it?
At the top.
Yeah. 18 to 25-year-olds and their leaders. Why are they targeting 18 to 25-year-olds? I can hear it already. Because that's the target demographic, and they just want to have a thing for young people. Sure. Yeah, sure. But all this money, all this production, all of this to get people to go. You're seeing this. I guarantee if you go to a normie church, you're seeing this advertised at your church. There's a representative who has showed up and wants your young people to go. Why is that happening? Because the church has been saying for years they're losing the youth. And they want to show that they're young again. Just like everything else. They've lost the youth. And they're trying to get it back with big flashy shows and showing that they're just like everything. They're just cool. You know, Christians can be cool.
All right, well, real quick, before you exit out of this, can you go down a bit to like the tickets? Talk titles. Click on that. I want to see what
this is good. Yep.
Number 1, Rejoicing in the Victorious Gospel of God. So, A Nothing Burger by Afshin Zayafat. Hoping in the Meticulous Providence of God, Word Salad by John Piper. I remember that name. Compelling a dying world with Trinitarian love. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Carl Trueman lecture, How the Church is the Answer to the Modern Identity Chaos. Okay. Entreating the extravagant generosity of God, blah, 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 useless. That's not good. Sorry,
right.
Alistair.
Right. Well, let me
we need things to bite onto. We don't want any more like AI generated sermons.
Well, good luck, because that's what it is. All of this is AI generated, except for, I think Carl Trueman sounds interesting. How can we tackle the identity confusion stemming from technology, the sexual revolution, and the rejection of human boundaries, purpose and responsibilities by embracing the church's teaching, worship, and fellowship, and leaning into the church amidst cultural upheaval? He will not be invited back for that one. It's too serious. It talks about too many real things. No, what we need is more large language model sermons that talk about nothing and use a bunch of Jesus butter to cover it all up. All right, this is nothing new. To us, this is nothing new. Why am I focused on this? Because it's just another sign that you can throw money and people and names and books and videos and production and everything, lights. You can have a big sign that says cross and has lights all over it. You can do all of that stuff, and you still can't be cool. Why? Because you're cringe. And the church, the evangelical corporation, or whatever the hell it is not a church.
I think the thing that's annoys me so much about this kind of thing is the lack of any kind of practical information or knowledge.
Yes.
Like these talks are not, they're just emotional manipulation for 2 hours each. Like, you remember when we were in, we were in the EV free church, the thing that we would look forward to was small groups.
Right, of course.
Because that was where the work got done. Because that was where people asked real questions about real life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, like, skipping so many steps for young people is a good idea. Because you're full of hot air. And they're gonna know that after sitting there for 6 hours listening to go.
I know. We know the tone. We know the tone.
Yeah,
Adam, we know it.
That's not how you get people back into the church. You get people back into the church by offering them actual life support.
But you don't understand, Adam. They've been doing this for decades, and it's worked so well. I mean, look, you can go see the little drummer boy for Christmas. You want to see this, don't you?
This is like a fever dream.
I can't wait. This really gets me in the Christmas spirit.
Nothing like graffiti to get me in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, yeah. You got people on strings here? You see that?
Dude, what is the appeal of this? This is so dumb.
This is the church. Guys, this is where your boomers are sending your inheritance. All right? This is going straight to...
Oh my God. It's going so dumb.
It's going straight into these people's pockets, and all of it's going directly back to Israel. I wish I was just being a jerk, right? But that is literally where all of this goes.
Man.
All of this satanic, cancerous nonsense is built upon that narrative. Do you realize how foundation shaking it is to be able to sit here without worrying about getting banned and talk about the roots of this? Do you understand that this formation, which calls itself a church, is just McDonald's also? Do you realize these people are having board meetings about how they're going to use AI for ministry, right?
Yeah.
Don't you want to go on a mission trip now? You know what a mission trip is? Here's a mission trip. A mission trip in the modern church, if you go on one of these, and if you go to CrossCon or whatever, you get convinced to go on a mission trip because of that. You are being sold a ticket to the ride. It's a small world after all, except the little children singing the song are real children. That's what you're doing. You're the product. You're the product.
No, I would love to get some insights on the ministry industry, because what is this outside of like planned events and stuff? It's like, a church in the old days like did stuff. Like, it didn't just donate money. Like there was actual, like, we're fighting for a greater good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to focus watching these levitating drummers
I know it's ridiculous, right?
So stupid.
This is the future of worshiping the triune God and Jesus Christ, right?
Okay, I was trying to make a point.
That's all right. You don't have to say anything. You just have to look at it.
Is there a video element to this? Are people going to be able to see what I'm seeing?
They're going to be able to see it. It's all on YouTube. If you want reference, it's going to be on YouTube. The audio only, they're not going to be able to see the little drummer boy flying through the air with a laser drum. But if you want to see it, it's on YouTube.
I'm wondering, like, why they were choreographed to, like, keep their feet flat while they're floating up through the air, as opposed to, like...
I haven't the faintest. Listen, Jesus needs you. Jesus needs you to pay for a ticket to go to the Christmas concert and watch the little drummer boy fly around the goddamn sanctuary. Dude, you thought I was okay. So, like, this is all leading to something, okay? Because this is the weaponization of people's faith. This is the commercialization of people's faith. I can't think of anything more disgusting than this. Okay, maybe I can't. Maybe I can.
I'm still going to get an animated GIF of this and make it my phone wallpaper.
It is so cynical.
But okay, that's what I was trying to get at, though, was the monetization of faith. It's like, this is just big entertainment, right? But it tickles a certain part of people's hearts or brains that make them feel like they're accomplishing something by watching this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, that's only like one part of the meal when you go to church, right? But this entire industry is capitalized on that emotional manipulation. And that's what people think being a good person is.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
When we went to a small Baptist church when we were young, and the coolest, craziest instrument that we had was an organ. And you had sometimes people would go up and they would sing together, but did you ever question if any of those performers were paid to do that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever question if any of them were all Christians?
No.
Of course not, because it was a church production.
It was voluntary.
Paid
for by the congregants.
Right. And served by the congregants. They would sing for you. They would lead you in hymns. They would lead you in songs. It was a Christian body. There is no way that all these people with floating laser drums are all Christians. Actually, I would wager to say that none of them are. Okay. Big deal. They're doing it for good, Aaron. They're doing it for good. All right, so how does this tie into Erika Kirk? So the PR for the Charlie Kirk situation after the TurningPoint after the Charlie Kirk assassination became very quickly grounded in faith. Did you see any of the celebrations or mourning ceremonies that they did where people were suddenly all in giant filled out entire stadiums? They had fireworks up on the stage and they had like worship pastors and famous Christian bands playing for people.
I didn't see any of that.
Okay, that all happened, and it was kind of amazing to see. And I saw Christians online bragging about it, about how Christians can just get together and produce out of nothing an entire concert that takes up an entire football stadium. And I was like, that's great. I really hope that's true, and that's what happened. But I was always a little bit leery from the beginning of the story of how hard they leaned into Christianity, people's faith. And all I could see was this. All I could see was little drummer boys floating around with their laser drums. And now this week, it appears that the entire thing is finally falling apart. And everyone wants to lay this at the feet of Erika Kirk. And that's totally understandable. Here's a little red flag, just a teeny tiny one of the many that I have. Erika Kirk has been on like I said, a trauma tour, reliving all of this, and just constantly interviewing every news channel. She did an interview with friggin' Barry Weiss this week, which was a disaster, by the way.
She's already got a book out?
Yes. There's already a book. It's Charlie's. It's the book he was working on before he died. They finished it. Probably with AI. I'm not kidding.
Erika Kirk in her own words.
Yes. So I saw the little speech she gave after Charlie was murdered. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. Like, she handled it well. It was a pretty darn good speech. But it's gone on for a little bit long now, hasn't it? It's a little bit late in the game, right, for this to continue. Am I crazy? All right. Here she is on Fox News.
It was so special because that was him just being able to breathe, be able to be with the Lord, let my children climb all over him, be daddy, and get, yes, the world knows him as Charlie Kirk. I know him as my husband. My babies know him as daddy. And he was able to just reset, recalibrate, and say, you know what? The noise of this world can wait 24 hours. I can get back to it once I have a fresh brain and I'm rested.
Was there anything weird that she said in there that you noticed?
I just noticed how expensive her fingers sound.
Oh, yeah, she does have a lot of rings on.
All the rings rattling when she moves.
Yeah, she's wearing a lot of jewelry. This is of course a natural accoutrement of a person who has given their life to the Lord.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jesus was all about like wearing jewelry and.
Yeah, I mean bracelets, designer clothing, multiple diamond rings. It's a little suspicious. Now, here's the thing. I know it's going to piss people off that I'm even saying this stuff, but I need you to pay attention to just one little thing. There's one little thing in here that she does twice. See if you can catch it.
Just being able to breathe, be able to be with the Lord, let my children climb all over him, be daddy, and get, yes, the world knows him as Charlie Kirk. I know him as my husband. My babies know him as daddy.
She did it twice. It's all right.
Yeah.
She didn't refer to her kids as our children.
Oh.
She said my children, and then she said my babies.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
That's really weird.
Would you do that? I mean, you're like if your wife, for example, died in a tragic accident, would you start referring to the children that you had together as your children, my children?
It would take a little longer before I would start saying that. All especially like this, since this whole thing is centered around them being married, right?
Oh yes. Yes.
Okay. It's getting interesting.
Let's proceed. Here's the book we were just talking about.
This book is very personal to me because these are Charlie's last words. And I feel like they were almost directed to me. And he's basically saying, stop. The world does not revolve around you. You need a moment to breathe. You need a moment to recalibrate. If you are so filled with busyness and the noise, the Lord cannot use you. So please rest. Be with the Lord, be with your family, and just know that there is so much more out there than the little busyness that you find to be drowning in it sometimes.
Okay, now notice the Fox News logo on this video?
Mm-hmm.
This is sponsored.
Okay.
So we're selling a book.
Dude, this is
I know.
This is making me upset.
Now, I know for you and me, this is easy mode, right? Like we've known people like this our entire lives. To a lot of people, though, this is offensive, what we're talking about. And I get it. Believe me, I get it. You got to understand, like, I had like 2 weeks where I was just totally shocked by what happened to Charlie. And we discussed it when it happened. And I was like, I didn't care at all. In fact, we made fun of him a lot on the show before all of this happened. And for 2 weeks, I was upset that this happened. I'm still upset that it happened. But this is weird, man. Here's another one. So this is the one that, well, let's not do this one just yet. Let's go back to this interview with Barry Weiss. Now, the only person who's been really chasing on this is Candace Owens. And I know she's crazy. I get it. It's like Asmongold. She's so crazy it's kind of hot. You remember that clip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Candace Owens is a nut, but she is. Here's what she's not. She's not stupid. There's a reason that woman is the #1 podcaster in the world. It's because she's good at it. She said something on one of her episodes that I really liked too. She said, all right, you guys, that's it for today's show. And don't worry, next week, we're going to figure this out. We're going to solve the mystery of who really killed Charlie Kirk. Just like that. Like it was the next, like she was reading a Hardy Boys novel to like 10-year-olds. Next week, we're going to solve the mystery of who killed Charlie Kirk. And everyone's all, oh, Candace Owens is crazy. And I've listened to her stuff. Dude, I consume so much media for this show. You have no idea how much I filter for you guys. She doesn't sound insane. I'm just saying. I know she's out there, and she accused the president of France of marrying his dad who's pretending to be a woman. I know.
Oh, man, I think I got to start listening to that show.
But I'm telling you, I'm not sure she's wrong. Now, here's the interview with Barry Weiss. This is a clip that everyone was passing around. Just check this out. The moment that someone brings up Candace Owens, what happens to Erika Kirk?
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Now, if you're just listening, you couldn't see what happened the moment Erika Kirk realized what was going on. But Adam, would you please describe the change in facial expression here when this is brought up? I'm just going to play it quietly so you can see it again. Right here.
Questions asked. She shifts her position, tilts her head forward, and just glares, staring daggers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is frigid.
Have you ever seen a stare like that before? I know I have. But, you know, again, this is not conclusive. This proves nothing. Of course she would be mad that there's somebody out there accusing somebody of somebody else other than this guy who's going to be on trial this week. It's going to be televised, by the way. Or at least they announced that the trial will be televised this week. It's very rare you see someone stare like this.
Yeah.
But she didn't stare like this at the killer or when she talked about the killer. In fact, within days of her husband being shot, she came out and said she forgave the killer in a tearful goodbye message that she delivered on the stage with the fireworks. But when somebody brings up that Candace Owens has not accused anyone of doing this, but she just doesn't believe the Fed story. She doesn't. She doesn't believe that the texts that were exchanged that perfectly revealed every detail of the crime were real. She doesn't believe any of that. And she wants to, as she said, solve the mystery of who really killed Charlie Kirk. But the hatred, I mean, it's suspicious. It's suspicious.
It's an act, honestly.
It is an act. I'm glad you said that. Here's the other one. This is another one, and we're going to be done after this, or not after this, but we're going to kind of probably close out this segment because I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying this is weird, and I've known people like this where they just get a story in their head and they're like, that's what happened, and how dare you? Here's the one that everyone else was passing
He
around.
would walk through the door, drop his bags, Daddy's home, take his phone Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. And that's what I always wanted to make so special for him, was coming home. I'd always say, baby, I don't care what time you get home. Home is here for you. Your food will never be cold. It might sit out for a little bit, but I'll reheat it. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk allegedly came home, would say Shabbat Shalom, and throw his phone in the junk drawer.
This is crazy.
Isn't this weird? I'm not making any accusations and I'm not making any claims.
At best, this is a dramatic woman spinning a story. At worst, this is part of a move to radicalize Christians.
She's part of something, and I'm not sure she knows it. And that's actually what friend of the show, Taraj, said. I was texting him about it just a little bit, and he said, I think she's trapped. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know exactly what it is. I don't think she knows she's trapped. I think she's spun up in some kind of movie in her head, maybe. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
People throw around the phrase MK Ultra. That kind of stuff does work on normies.
Well, I think too the cynical nature of it, publishing books, even months after this happened, is really weird.
And capitalizing constantly on the tragedy of it. You know, the speed at which things were cleaned up, right? Within a week, under a week, the crime scene was a construction site. I can't ignore these things. It's like those little open questions about like 9/11, where they had all of the rubble transported at some suspicious like dump. I don't even remember what it was called. But those were from the 9/11 conspiracy days when I was really digging on that one. I'm like, that's really weird. Too many open questions. Now, of course, I had to bring in somebody fun. We haven't heard from Mr. Stu Peters in a long time.
All right.
But I had to, because this was reposted by Mr. Red Pill himself, my favorite truther that I follow just for you.
Yeah.
All right, but let's see what Stu Peters' take is on this.
I think you just like saying his name.
Stu Peters?
Yeah.
Stu Peters. Stu Peters. I don't know. Maybe I do like saying
Right now is Erika Kirk week on Fox News. The entire week is dedicated to interviewing Erika Kirk and putting her face on TV. And it's not just Fox News. Remember, I just told you that we would talk more about Erika's upcoming CBS event in just a moment, and it's that time. On Wednesday, she'll be sitting down with Barry Weiss in New York City as part of that town hall, which will then air on Saturday in prime time. And if you missed that broadcast, don't worry, because it'll be available online anytime you want it. They are building this thing up like a pay-per-view fight. It's like this can't-miss TV. You've just got to see Erika Kirk on stage once again, wiping away the non-existent fake tears, pretending to be emotionally distraught about her husband's death, as she profits to the tune of millions upon millions of dollars.
Why on earth? Adam.
Yep.
Our dad's pretty high up in a corporation. All right.
Yep.
If something happened to him, would they hire our mom to be the CEO?
I mean, that was my question. I wonder what Erika Kirk did before he got shot. You know.
I don't know.
Was she like a voice for the program? Probably, I'd imagine.
Dude, I don't know. They met in Israel, which is interesting, I suppose. The other thing is, like, it's like, okay, you know what? Let's just let Stu cook. Let's let the stew cook.
Well, a programming note to bring you. Erika Kirk, widow to slain TurningPoint USA founder Charlie Kirk, will be on CBS News talking with CBS News editor-in-chief Barry Weiss about the murder of her husband, Charlie Kirk. Erika Kirk will speak about what she sees as rising political violence in the United States, the future of the right, and her faith It'll be in a 1-hour town hall meeting. You can watch that live on CBS Saturday, December 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Of course, you remember who Barry Weiss is. In the early days, well, she's a famous journalist type. She's been on Joe Rogan multiple times. But in the early days of the war with the Israeli war or whatever, she was the one who was standing on a highway with a phone and was ducking and pretending that there were missiles flying overhead.
Okay.
That's Barry Weiss, just for context.
And then later on Paramount Plus.
Oh, and she was hired to be the editor at Paramount.
CBSNews.com, and, of course, right here on CBS News 24/7.
It's just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's like a hype video for a Friday night Bryce Mitchell fight. Don't miss it. Pay-per-view only. Tickets are sold out. Get them now.
Now, Stu is being funny. But again, this goes back to what we've been saying about this corporatization of all of this. That playing on people's religious beliefs. There are people who said that Charlie died for the faith, and I believe that's true. And that sort of thing. Of course, I believe that kind of thing is true. Like, Charlie was unapologetically a very Christian person. And he was killed for it, basically. I understand the angle, is what I'm trying to say. But this all reeks terribly of a corporate monster using a dead man's legacy as a skin suit, which reminds me an awful lot of what Defunctland was talking about with Walt Disney. Remember that little bit at the end of his latest one where he was like, Walt Disney wanted to build an automaton for a president, and so it makes sense that he would be turned into an automaton of himself sometime in the future and be stuck like that.
Phew.
That's what's happening.
Well, it's amazing how fast it's happening. I think that's we're not talking about solving the mystery or getting justice. We're more interested in making as much money off of this as we possibly can.
Right.
That seems to be the only goal here.
Right. It sure looks like it, doesn't it? Not making any claims, not making any statements. These are ideas that we're tossing back and forth here. But yeah, it does look an awful lot like that, doesn't it? It does look an awful lot like the drummer boys flying around the ceiling are not Christians.
Yeah.
This does look like a little bit like another agency that may be like one of the best in the world has control of the PR and the damage control at Turning Point. It's interesting because a lot of people were getting calls this week, including none other than Mr. White Butt Statue, who came out to condemn you and me and all podcasters, who still have their souls and don't work for the Daily Wire. He came out and tell us the same thing.
That this is somebody with an immense amount of strength and courage. So when people look at Erika and say she's acting strange, I've never seen a grieving person act this way. Well, I agree. She's an exceptional person in an extraordinary situation, handling it with remarkable poise.
I think perhaps the lady doth protest too much.
You know, my husband may have been killed horribly on camera in front of his own children, but there's one problem.
We still need money.
And I get it.
Well, let's just look at I see what you're getting at here. Because it's the same marketing playbook that churches use.
Yes.
Especially churches that support Israel, which is, I guess, a lot of them, but it's this, you just need to put somebody who's crying on the camera, and you need to dig into this issue and wallow in it as hard as you possibly can. Because that's how you get the most attention.
Adam, I am suggesting one thing. That there is, in fact, an invisible puppet master that uses the same blueprints to run all of these PR strategies that we are seeing fail. It goes back to what I put on Telegram, that it's like they rolled out the October 7th strategy and they said, we'll just put Charlie there. And we'll just get all of our influencers to say the same thing. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's a little spooky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that kind of speaks to the laziness of everything, really. Like, we'll just reboot it, rehash it, use the same thing, put a different coat of paint on it. Nobody will know the difference. And I think that's what's happening is people are noticing.
We're getting used to these patterns. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
we've seen this movie before.
Yes. That's what makes me like, I'm just like, God, you guys need to try something different. I guess worked for a long time, but I mean, like, Black Ops 7 is a flop.
You can't just do Call of Duty every year and then just make it weirder and weirder and pretend like it's still the same game. You can't turn Call of Duty into Fortnite and expect it to work. Okay, fair enough. We understand that. But you also can't release the same damn game over and over and over again. You remember when Far Cry Primal reused a map from Far Cry 4?
Yeah.
Literally reused the same map, and everyone noticed, even though all the trees were different and there were different villages and like things were moved around, it was the same map. They just reused it. That's what's happening here. I don't know what these PR agencies are thinking, but it's clear that they've lost their touch. They're just lazy.
Let's take it a step further. Their PR management, or the people in charge, are aging out and they're not allowing themselves to be replaced.
Yes, yes.
Because we've been doing this for half a century. I know better than all of you. Yeah, you brought up the Napoleon Dynamite uncle.
I know.
True.
It's the
true,
same
though.
thing.
Any industry that will not cede the throne is going to fail.
I know.
And it can go and throw a football in front of a camera all at once and tell you, oh, it's the glory days and all that. No, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up like all of the tool and die companies that are dead in Wisconsin because you couldn't accept that the competition was more fierce than you.
It's a tale as old as human civilization. You're supposed to train your replacements and then let them fly.
I can't believe we're giving these people advice.
I can't either.
It's hilarious that it's literally the same syndrome that we're talking about with freaking video games. Like, come on.
It's the same thing. And that's why I'm saying the broadest way to look at all of this is our elites and our powerful rich people are afflicted by the same thing, the same problem: decadence. Laziness. They want to put it in a computer and type up a prompt, and there you go. That's it. It's just as good as hiring talent. It's not, though. We can replace all our people with robots. Then who's working for who? Who's making the money? What's the point of all this?
It's short-sightedness.
It is.
Really.
It's
grift.
Immaturity. Yes. Yes. It's I got mine. And that's why I'm saying that, like, this is a logical outcome of the precepts of our current civilization and era, that you can just replace everybody and it won't matter. And as long as you get yours, it doesn't matter. Turning Point had the opportunity to become one of the greatest things in the United States, and it threw it all away for a frickin' book.
2 books.
Well, 2 books. It threw it all away for nothing. Why? Because it's a sinking ship. Every one of these things is a sinking ship. It's just like Ubisoft. We'll just throw out whatever. People buy it. They trust the company. They're selling their brand's reputation for 30 shekels. That's what they're doing.
Yep. They're giving up their birthright for a bowl of soup.
And everybody's doing it. Every major corporation is doing this. How can we sit here and pretend like they don't know what's going on? It's the same thing as when, like, COVID happened and suddenly everybody just had everything ready. Everyone knew we're just going to roll all this out and we're going to wait on a vaccine and not a treatment. It's the same thing. It's lazy. It's just lazy. You want to see a funny clip of a woman pretending to be Erika Kirk?
Yeah.
People don't understand how hard it is to be a professional widow. You don't understand how strenuous the tour schedule is. And I need everyone to know how sad I am. I'm so sad all the time. I miss the little things. So many things about Charlie were little that I miss. But the thing I miss the most of all is when you come home on a Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Ooh.
Wasn't that good?
That's creepy.
Did you see that?
Her eyes with $100 bills.
Mm-hmm. She's wiping her eyes with $100 bills, and then she just Shabbat Shalom, and then she snaps out of Israel. She looks right in your face.
Yes. But the thing I miss the most of all is when you come home on a Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Amazing. Ugh. Amazing. It's amazing. Now, I want to be clear, and it's a little late to be saying this because anybody who's mad at us for this is already turned it off. From a perspective of marketing and PR, when we're making fun of Erika Kirk, we are not making fun of Erika Kirk, the person. We are making fun of Erika Kirk, the character. Erika Kirk, the Disney ride. Erika Kirk, the animatronic. That's what's happening. As Taraj said, she could be trapped in there. I'm telling you that 100% could be true. But the Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point brand has been sullied by either a bunch of lazy people, a bunch of incompetents, or people who want to drive this thing into the ground and get all the money they can before the ship sinks. That's what's going on. But anyway, so that's I think that might be it actually. Oh no, here's the best point of all, and I couldn't mention her without playing the best clip, and it's just her reading comment. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
I just love that she has one of those girl cups with the straw and it just says the CIA on it, and you just know it means Candace Intelligence Agency. I'm certain that's what it is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that's frickin' branding. That's how you do it.
Butterfly writes, and I should actually first, let's read the top comment from last episode. This person wrote, Issa Rae wrote, Erika Kirk will forgive someone 1 week later for murdering her husband, but she won't forgive someone for not believing the FBI narrative. I saw a lot of people commenting that online, that the energy definitely feels different for people that want to get to the truth than it does for the person who she believes killed her husband. And I don't believe that is a person who pulled the trigger. I just don't. And you're allowed to disagree with Erika. You are. And that's fine. She's allowed to think what she thinks, and you're allowed to think what you think.
Here's what's happening, man. We really are in a new world where this kind of an emotional manipulation and grifting it's over. We're not going to be able to do this anymore. These people aren't going to be able to rely on our good faith anymore. We're not living in that world anymore, bud. Follow the Clowntown Chronicle on X. I'm just kidding. But that's true. It's the truth. We're not living in that world anymore. It's
Thank
over.
God.
It's over. I know. It feels good, doesn't it? All right. Now we need to land this plane. So we've got one more relevant clip. And this is more for our Telegram people than anybody. And then we've got one funny one, and then we're done. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Ever had the red pill blues?
Probably.
I'm sure. It's a stage. You get through it, and then you become white-pilled almost permanently. But this guy is in the red pill blue stage.
I swear to you, awareness is a curse. Once you become conscious about things, you can't enjoy the simple parts of life anymore. You go to sit down and watch a movie with some friends, and within minutes, you're analyzing the manipulation tactics, the propaganda. You know, you go to a party, and instead of enjoying the moment, you're analyzing all of the social performances, the masks, like the facades that people are putting on. You just can't enjoy things anymore because you see right through them. Once you wake up, you can't go back back to sleep. Your brain will just hyperanalyze every situation, which inevitably leads to more suffering. Like, I can't have a conversation with you because I just see how there's a desperate need for validation, and I don't want to entertain that, you know? And it's not that, like, I'm superior. It's just I can no longer relate. I can't act like this absurdity is normal anymore.
And it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know this feeling, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But we're all pretending now. We're all pretending. At least a critical mass of people has been reached where we understand that we're all pretending. We are ripe for a revolution in thought, and it's already happening. And I'm telling you, if you look at this stuff, like all the controversial stuff we've talked about, if you can look at this from the perspective of observance or we are here to watch, that kind of thing, you're going to learn a lot. And two, you're going to understand that what's actually happening is a change in how people process and communicate information. That's all. Yeah. All the awkward growth spurts and growing pains and everything that comes from it, like the interview that Nick Fuentes did with Piers Morgan, and the, you name it. A great example is Sam Hyde interviewing that flat earth guy, Dave Weiss. Like, there's going to be some awkwardness, but it's all part of the plan. Trust me.
Yeah, or we're all just autistic.
No, we're not. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't. How dare you suggest such a thing? You're attacking my narrative. Okay, guys, last thing. If you're broke, there's hope.
Do have mental problems? Get a pony in exchange for financial problems. And if your pony gets sad, get him another pony. And if your pony's pony gets sad, get him another pony.
That solves everything. Just get a frickin' pony.
It was right there in front of me the whole time.
I can't believe you didn't think of it.
Oh.
Well, that's it, Adam. That's our show.
Starting and ending with AI and ponies.
I already told you why. I already told you why we have to use AI now. It's because the friggin' YouTube algorithm won't let me use my fun songs anymore. Even that little bit I used from the Cowboys earlier will probably get flagged.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does suck. But until we can come up with something better, it's just going to be Suno for right now. I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot to play Bross's new button.
You better do that.
I'm pretty sure I downloaded it. Where is it? I'll find it. Hang on. Oh, there's my Trumpler art. Man, so much has happened since we started this show.
So what does YouTube not flag as far as music goes?
Anything that's copyright free or AI.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to start digging.
Yep, you're really gonna have to start digging because you basically got public domain and anything we buy, which just isn't gonna happen. Baras, I apologize. I do have it somewhere, but I'm not gonna dig for it right now. We'll play it next time. Adam, don't let me forget. All right, everybody. That's it for Conspiracy Week. If you want to help the show without donating, you can like it, share it, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Really important. More important than you know. And if you do want to donate, there's a link in the description, and you can send as much as you want with a note. How about that? That's all I got. If you want to get yourself some merch and get something instead of just paying us, I mean, God, how dare we? Go to theclowntownchronicle.com/loot. Get yourself a mug or a sticker. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Sayonara. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to go that's all right. See you next time.